Happy Sunday. Good morning. Good afternoon on the East Coast. Hey, I'm your host, Tony Twist. This is ATW All Things Wrestling Podcast. And I am joined today by the birthday boy, Kenny from the Dacalluppodcast, a.k.a. Papa
Tony.
Bear. How you doing, man?
I'm good, Tony. What's going on with you?
Another day. Technical difficulties. We're running a little behind, but hey, we're up and running now. We're rolling. Been a crazy week this week in wrestling, man. Some sad news, obviously coming out of the wrestling world. But yeah, we'll talk all about that shit. And then you had a birthday celebration last night, right?
Yeah. My birthday was yesterday. Turned 39. It's a good feeling. My wife took me out, so checked out a show, checked out a comedy show, went to dinner. Nothing crazy. You know what I mean? I wasn't like jumping cars or anything. Or bar hopping and getting drunk, passed out in a fucking alleyway or something like that. I have a little bit more class than that, But other than that, man, I mean, everything's been good. Like you said before, we had the passing of Scott Hall. Had that announcement on Monday. It looks like there was like more Cody Rhodes news, which I'm kind of getting tired of.
Yeah, we're gonna get into all that shit.
Yeah.
We're 2 weeks away from the biggest show, WrestleMania. So we'll talk all about that, get your feelings on that, hating it, loving it, whatever the case may be. But hey, we got a special guest today. First time on the show. She's out of Los Angeles, California, and she's just an all-around wrestling super fan. Mm-hmm. Her name is Hell Liz, and we're just going to stop talking. We're just going to bring her on the show. Liz, good morning.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Good morning,
How are you?
Liz? How are you?
Happy birthday.
Thank you. First of all, I love the name. All right, so I'm already expecting you to bring me as much heat as possible, being that your first name is Heel. I don't want nothing sweet, because then I'm going to end up just changing your name.
No, I've actually gotten a couple people trying to change me to Babyface Liz.
See, look at that already.
Now, we got to ask, because I see behind you, I see a WWE Championship belt. Looks like a lot of memorabilia. I know Kenny can appreciate that. Yes. Kenny's got a pretty good collection. What do you got going on behind you?
Oh, I actually got a couple stuff. It's my small collection. I've been growing it, I think, for like the last 3 years or so. Mostly this side end is just all my t-shirt collection, any t-shirts that I add on. These are my go-to. As you guys, I go to a lot of wrestling events, so this is where I'm at most of the time. I recently just changed the whole background. Since I actually moved here, I've been kind of adding a little bit more as I do. So far, I think my last title that I added was the heavyweight up here.
And okay, the old WCW belt?
This one is the WWE one.
So okay, yep, that one. And I see the WCW one.
Yeah, and then we have the Universal, and then the women's section over here. I have my SmackDown and women's title. I don't have as many as you, Kenny, but I'm getting there.
I have way too many. Trust me, it's become too much that I had to like put certain stuff away. So like my background, I have it blurred right now, so I have stuff everywhere. But like I have like a shelf here. I have like 3 more in my hallway. I think I have a couple inside my closet, and then I had to put stuff away. I had to put like other belts away, like in storage type of thing, because it's just too much. Like my wife, to the point where she's just like, you need to like relax or buy a storage unit and like dump all this stuff. And yeah, so I kind of chilled out a little bit, because if not, I probably would have had way more than what I have now.
Oh man. I wish that was my problem.
So Liz, tell us about, I know you're a big super fan of wrestling. So did you grow up watching wrestling? Did your brothers get you into wrestling? Like, tell about your story and kind of like where your love of wrestling started.
It's a little bit of both. I kind of grew into liking it due to my brother and my dad having that bond of watching wrestling. And since for me, it was more like Selena, like, things like really girly vibes. So my dad, I'm assuming, probably didn't think I was into it. Mm-hmm. Eventually, I kind of started watching it as like, you know, kind of like the back end, like, oh, what are they doing? What are they watching? And I kind of got intrigued. I grew up around just mostly boys. Most of my cousins are boys that were around my age. So I was like, you know, intrigued of wanting to know what they're watching, what they're into, things like that. And I've always liked, I don't know, like I've always been kind of like a tomboy, I guess you can say. It kind of went from there, and it wasn't actually until Cena. I'm a huge Cena fan. It wasn't until Cena came into the scene. Once he went full heel after his whole angle with Kurt Angle, I was just like, this man is everything. I was like, damn, like I liked everything about him, his charisma, everything, like what he brought to the table, and just, you know, being so, I don't know, like it was just something about him. I was just so intrigued and wanting to know. And for me, I was just like, okay, I love Cena. I love Cena. And I don't know, I think my mom never kind of figured I was a huge wrestling fan until now that I'm older. She's starting to be like, okay, you really like wrestling, don't you? I'm like, no, it's okay. I don't like it that much.
You're like, just don't look in my room. Just don't look at.
I know, right?
Stuff here, right?
She recently came to my house not that long ago, and she came into my office and saw this, and she was like, why? She's like, why are you spending so much money? I'm just like, well, it's not spending money if I love it, you know? Right. I mean, money comes and goes. I was like, you know, I rather just enjoy it now that I can. I didn't get the luxury to enjoy it when I was younger. I didn't get the luxury of having to be able to go to events at a young age and having all these crazy memories. My memories were just behind the TV. For that very reason, my mom didn't think I was a huge fan. She knew I love Cena. Like every time she would see a Cena shirt, she's like, here you go. She's like, you want this one? Like it was at school, middle school, you would always see my John Cena face like sticking out of my uniform. So he was actually a huge part of why I kind of started watching it and why I watched it religiously, like week by week. But he was mostly the reason why after he kind of stepped out, I did start kind of looking at the other superstars and being like, oh, they're good. I like them, cheering for them. But anytime it was anyone against Cena, it was always Cena. But that's pretty much where my love came from. Everything that he did, aside from that, my personal life, he kind of helped me a lot growing up, I guess you could say, his words. So he was a huge part of the reason why I am obsessed with wrestling. I, you know, love wrestling, enjoy it so much. I love the craft of it. But I'll start rambling.
No, that's it. We want to hear all about you. Saw you were at a show last night. Tell us about that show.
Oh, Circle 6. Oh my God, it was so crazy. Like I was mentioning, I'm barely getting into the indie scene. I was kind of just closed-minded with wrestling back then when I was just WWE. That's it. That's all it was. And then I started kind of like opening my my mind and just being open-minded to indie wrestling. I wasn't too familiar with it. I knew that there was many wrestlers that came out from every wrestler that comes out of the indie scene. And many people knew them before coming into WWE. I'm just like, how do you guys know them? Like, I always wondered, but I never knew anybody that was into the indie scene that can introduce me to it. Until now that social media is a huge thing of the reason why I got into the indie scene. But yesterday's show was so crazy. It was the first time I ever went to something like that, where just so much glass everywhere. It was so cool. But I mean, I got my foot stomped on, but it's okay.
Never go front row at an indie show. Okay, it's not I'm
starting to know.
Yeah, it's not like AEW or WWE where like they have that padding. It's more protected. Like the guys are indie shows. The best like rows to sit in is like the third row or sit in the back. It's you get a lot more people that like I go to indie shows and I'll sit in the back. I'll pay $20, go sit by the bar area, have a couple of drinks, talk with some people that I bump into, and like that's like the best thing. Because I did the same mistake. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to my first indie show, and I bought a front row ticket. Me and a good friend of mine, we went, and the first thing that happened was the guy goes off the top rope, lands on the other guy. The guy falls all the way back, knocks my drink out of my hand. It spills everywhere, and it was like, I was like, yeah, I'm never doing this again. And then that same night, I remember Johnny Gargano was wrestling, and he does a move. He jumps over us onto the person next to me and just lands. And I have a picture of it on Facebook where like Johnny Gargano is like on my chest. I have a picture and it's like a selfie. He stops, smiles, takes a picture, and goes right back into the match again.
See, but that's a badass memory though.
No, it is.
It's really cool. Worth it. It's kind of worth it, but yeah.
I just don't want somebody sweaty on top of me when I have clean clothes on, you know?
Right.
That's true. Like, I'm not here to wrestle, I'm here to watch.
Exactly.
No, but usually, yes, that is what most of the time that I've gone to the indie shows, because I am brand new to it, I'm kind of like, let me just kind of go in the far back end. I'm like, let me just watch from the backside. This was the first time I was kind of like just up in the front. So it was crazy. I was kind of like, okay, should I get up now? Should I move now? Like, what's going on? Are they coming? Oh shit, they're coming. Let's go. So I was a little bit on my toes. It was just that one split second. There was just so many people. I just kind of like rushed backwards, and my foot just happened to like not move with my body. So I was just like, darn it. I was like, okay, good thing I was wearing boots. So I was good. Right. I was like, my foot is fine. My ankle's fine. Like, everything. But it was that show was insane. I got to see Brody King again. I got to see him, I believe it was February out here in LA not that long ago. It was my first time seeing him in person. I had been wanting to see him, and I knew he trained out from Centino's. Centino's actually from my hometown. So I was like, huge on wanting to see him, and I finally got to see him twice yesterday. He put on a great show. So
thanks.
So far, Circle 6, definitely recommend if you guys are ever in the LA area.
So I saw that AEW is coming to LA, and I know you're a big WWE fan. So I'm taking it that you're probably gonna go check AEW out, right?
Oh, I hear all the time it's either or. For me, it's all wrestling now. I enjoy all wrestling. I have actually been waiting for AEW to actually come out to LA, just the West Coast period. Right. Right before that, they had announced that Vegas Double or Nothing week that they're going to be out there. I was like, okay, I'm going to take advantage. Let's go. I had already planned everything ahead of time before the tickets went on sale. And then bam, they're like, LA, we're coming out. I was like, okay, we're doing Vegas and we're doing LA. And then I saw that they were all back to back. And I was just like, well, we're doing this thing. So I'm excited. I have a busy one. 4 shows. So
that's awesome. I was really surprised because I got online because obviously AEW hasn't come to Arizona yet. And if they come, they're going to come to like Phoenix or the West Valley, which is like Glendale. And that's like a 2-hour drive for me. But I checked out the tickets in LA. I was really shocked at how much they were. I was thinking they were going to be on the cheaper side. I saw some really expensive ass seats, and I was like, damn.
What was the price on that?
I saw like
Forum was pricey.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, you cut out. What did you say?
Oh no, it was the Forum that was pricier than Ontario.
Right, I saw. So how much? I mean, where are you sitting at, and how much are you dropping on your tickets? Because I saw like $450, $500. Wow.
Damn. I actually did see. I tend to shop around because I like to go to a lot of events, so I know how to shop around for tickets. I ended up buying, I believe, 3 of the 4 events that I'm going to are floor seats. Vegas by far was the cheapest on floors. But here in LA, for the Forum Dynamite, I believe it was around $250. But I got good seats. I'm in section D, which I believe is like right off the face of the camera. So where the camera is showing, I'm going to be like right in the backside area, row 7. So it wasn't that bad. It was $250 for that. And then I believe I paid $150 for Ontario floor seats as well. But it's more on the back end side. It's like on the ramp, but more on like just like the corner side. So I'm still on the floor, but more on the back end side. But they were pretty pricey. I have seen some that were going up to like $600-$800. I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like pay-per-view prices.
Yeah, Kenny, how much does it usually go for in New York?
So I am going to Dynamite in Long Island, which is not that far from me. It's maybe like a 30-minute drive. And not for nothing, I paid a floor seat and I paid $40.
What?
Jeez.
That's shitty.
Overpriced.
Yeah, like but like normally like for like if I go to like a WWE show or stuff like that, it's maybe like around, I don't know, like 90 to maybe like $150 maybe.
Oh my god, floor seats as well?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, but like what, way in the back on the floor?
No, like it depends on like where I decided. Like if I'm going by myself, I'll sit anywhere. Like I try to sit as close as possible. If I have my kids, then I'm gonna sit on the I'm gonna sit a little higher, up a little bit. So yeah, I mean, probably like the middle end. I know when I went to All Out and I did Rampage, I sat like third row to ringside, and I think that costed about, I don't know, I think like $100 maybe.
Sheesh.
And that was in Chicago.
Yeah, shit. Tickets out here on the West Coast are a lot more expensive, I guess.
Yeah,
I didn't even know down in Phoenix, the ticket last time I went to a WWE show, it's been a couple years. This shit ain't cheap. And like I said, I was looking at the tickets for LA for AEW. I thought it'd be on the cheaper side, but nope, not really. I was like, damn.
No, they're not. They're taking advantage of us. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, think about it, because Kenny's in New York, and it's just like wrestling there like all the time, right? I would think in LA it would be the same thing, though. I mean, obviously it's the first time AEW's coming out, but you know, WWE goes out to the West Coast. They go to California all the time.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, and I want to go out there to the West Coast to check out, because there's so many different like wrestling, like indie shows that I want to check out there. And then WWE is going to be there for WrestleMania, so I want to go check that out. So I'm kind of like nervous now with the ticket prices there.
Right.
I know. I'm pretty nervous too. I've actually been hearing that ticket prices for Mania are pretty high. People are expecting them to come low. I haven't checked them out, so don't quote me on it. But I have heard that they are pretty high. So I'm just like, oh Lord. I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do here, but WWE got to fix something. But I mean, at the same time, I understand it being a certain price. I mean, it's LA, SoFi. It's a brand new stadium. You know, everything brand new, top notch. Taken care of. So, I mean, I see them trying to get their money's worth as well. But I mean, we're all barely making it.
Yeah, that's crazy, and
cutting out from my end. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, lost you guys for a second. I couldn't imagine what the tickets in Dallas are for Mania. They got to be insane. You guys there?
No, I'm still here. I can hear you.
Okay.
Technical difficulties. You gotta love the internet.
No,
all that good stuff.
What do you expect?
Right. When you need it, you can't use it. When you don't need it, it's just there. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, so yeah, I loved hearing about your background, love for wrestling, and this and that. A lot of news this week. I guess we'll start at the top of the week. Sad news coming out of I don't know if he was in Florida or where he's at, but Scott Hall passed away on Monday. I guess a few weeks ago or sometime back, he had some hip surgery or hip replacement surgery and had complications from that. And then heard he had like 3 heart attacks or some shit on Sunday or Saturday or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's pretty sad news. So me personally, lifelong wrestling fan, Scott Hall as a kid, man, so many great memories of Razor Ramon as a kid. Mm-hmm. It's pretty funny because as a kid, I really thought he was Latino. Like he pulled off the
I think a lot of people felt that way.
Right? He pulled off the Razor Ramon character so good. I was like, I thought he was Latino. And then he jumped ship to WCW and he's Scott Hall. I was like, oh, okay. So the dude's not Latino. So what are some of your memories? Kenny, start with you, Scott Hall or Razor Ramon.
I think, I mean, besides the whole Razor thing, I thought, obviously that's the one thing that everybody always goes to. For me, I always go back to like when he started in WCW and just starting the Outsiders with him and like Kevin Nash and stuff like that, and just like all the comedic things that he did, in WCW. I thought that was great because he's changed. Like, if you think about it, like his idea changed wrestling in a whole. Because
Right.
if he didn't decide to like better himself and go to WCW and make these demands, we would have never gotten Hogan the way he is now. He was back then. We probably wouldn't have Sting the way he is now. And I don't know. And I guess a lot of just maybe like the Young Bucks and everyone else just stealing like their style of wrestling. We wouldn't get that either.
Yeah, I mean NWO. Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan. The NWO really changed wrestling in such a dramatic fashion. You got away from the good guys, all the hokey stuff from the 80s and like early 90s, and wrestling just it got flipped on its head with the whole NWO and people thinking it was real, and the invasion with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, these guys coming up from WWF, and like it was just an exciting time for wrestling. And I think if that didn't happen, I don't think you'd have the popularity of wrestling that you do today. Obviously, it's changed into much more PG, family friendly, but I just think the mainstream attention of pro wrestling and just kind of crossing over into just like everyday, pop culture. I just think it wrestling today, I don't know what it would look like.
Oh no, I completely agree with you. I mean, I was not watching at that time. I wish I could have. I wish I could have been in my now 20s in that era of wrestling, because it was amazing. I watched just highlights of it. I recently just started wanting to get back into it, just started WCW from the very beginning. And like, I never really actually sat down and watched it. But for me personally, I don't have many memories, as I would say, with Razor Ramon or Scott Hall, because I didn't grow up in that era. I didn't start watching till the early like 2000s, like probably 2004, 2005.
Right.
Which he was already gone. I wasn't watching, TNA and things like that. But I do know, I did watch, his highlights, and just for me, hands down, I was just like, he is, me just being a girl, I was just obsessed with his facial structure. And he looked like bad dude. Like he looked fine. I was like, his hair, everything, just everything about how he represented himself, how he showcased himself, and his lines. I'm huge on heels. I've always liked the bad guys. So he was the bad guy that I kind of liked, where I kind of started getting my love for them. I was like, okay, I like the bad guys. I like the bad guys. Before it's always babyface, like, you always want to cheer for the good guys,
Right.
But it was not bad to cheer for the bad guy. So that's kind of where my love for heels kind of came from. Just from him, just, being out there, and either you booed or you loved or you hated him. We could care twice.
Well, they really made it, the whole NWO thing, like cheering for the bad guys, loving the bad guys, was something that was definitely new, because, I grew up in the 80s, and it was like the bad guys, like you really hated them. Like they, if you saw guys like, was it Ivan Volkov and the Iron Sheik, just some of the big heels from like the 70s and 80s and early 90s, like people, they weren't cheering for the bad guys, like never. Like, they would tour in many places, these guys would get like legit death threats, back in the day, people would throw stuff, into the ring. I mean, it was just like, if you were a bad guy, you were a bad guy, and people thought you were a bad guy in real life.
I remember Piper used to say that all the time too. When he used to go into certain cities, he would have to like ask for security, because these people literally would just throw things at him or try to like stab him with stuff, because they like legitimately hated him for the things that he said and did in the ring, which is crazy to me now. Like, I mean, you wouldn't be able to get away with that stuff now, but like back then, insane.
Yeah, because I remember watching it as a kid, and yeah, you definitely as a kid, especially Hulk Hogan and some of those other guys, they really appealed to kids, and that's you were always cheering for the good guy. You were never cheering for the bad guy. So when the MWO came about in the late '90s, it was cool to cheer for the bad guys, and then WWF, they started the whole Attitude Era. And you were cheering for the bad guys, you were cheering for the good guys. It didn't really matter. It just wrestling landscape as a whole just totally changed. So, thank you to Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan, because without those guys, you wouldn't have had that amazing era of wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true.
So let's move on to Kenny's favorite news. We're going to talk about Cody Rhodes. It's like, where's Waldo? Where in the world is Cody Rhodes? So people are tracking his moves. I heard he's going to get his own jet to go into WrestleMania. I mean, you're hearing all kinds of crazy stories about Cody Rhodes. I never knew that they were going to make such a big deal about this. So, Liz, being the guest that you are today, I want to get your thoughts on Cody Rhodes. And are you excited to see him in the WWE? Or are you like the AEW fans at the end are just hating him?
I'm a huge Cody Rhodes fan. So I'm all in for Cody going back to WWE. I mean, he did what he could have in AEW as of now. He's still in his prime. I think he's in the best of shape of his life. So especially how WWE right now is with the lineup that they have, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, like him coming back to that, and where Roman Reigns is at God mode right now. I'm excited to see Cody back in WWE. I did not think it was going to be a big fuss. I kind of did a little bit just because he is jumping ship from AEW to WWE, and just so quick where he just decided not to resign and just said going back. For whatever reason, he has his reasons, but I'm excited to see him back in WWE and see what he has to offer. I mean, I wasn't a fan of this whole Stardust gimmick. Honestly, I was not a huge fan of it. But hopefully, I don't know. I hope that he can bring something, what he was bringing to AEW in the table, bring it to WWE and see how far that goes. I am afraid that he might be getting booed as soon as his song plays, just because of everything that did happen within the last 3 years. But I'm excited for him. I'm excited to see him Intercontinental Championship. Hopefully, I love that Intercontinental Championship around his waist, so I would like to see that.
Kenny, all right, man. I know you're not thrilled, you're not excited, but are the WWE fans going to embrace Cody Rhodes?
They are, just for the simple fact that he came from AEW. He's a former VP from AEW, and it's like a win for the WWE marks that are out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're going to be so happy that somebody from AEW is going to WWE, right? And then what kills me about this is you've done so much to distance yourself from WWE in a way, and now you're bringing yourself back, right? So I think it was maybe a year ago, because AEW is fairly still new, where there was an interview with Cody Rhodes, and he says he only wants to wrestle until he turns 40. When he turns 40, he wants to retire. So it looks like we're gonna get Cody Rhodes for another 4 years, because he's 36 now, going on 37, right? And then the rest of the time, he said, "I just want to be the VP of AEW until I can't no more." So that kind of just so the disconnect to this of him leaving AEW and going back to WWE is just mind blowing to me, because it had to be something else besides money. That he's just deciding that he's just gonna leave, and are these plans still gonna be happening? But the way WWE's handling it now, where they're just yeah, we want Cody Rhodes. We might use him for WrestleMania, but now there's talks of they might use him after WrestleMania and bring him in the Monday night after Raw, and it's just shit off, get off the pot. in a way. Like, let's just get it over with. The surprise is done. Everybody knows that Cody's gonna be there. Just do it already. I'm tired of seeing Seth Rollins with the fucking puppy dog face.
Right.
Like, he doesn't have a match. You don't know what you're gonna do with him. Everybody sees, well, Cody's still there. It's just like, just break the glass, hit the lever, and just let him go.
So, from what I hear from you, is you're not real happy about how they're promoting this, because there were so many things over the last couple weeks. Cody Rhodes is really going to head up Ring of Honor. You know, it was like all these stories that were out there. Like, this was all just, it was all work. You know, Cody Rhodes didn't really leave AEW. Tony Khan and him are really working this behind the scenes as like, it's just a storyline. It's like, I don't know what to believe. And obviously WWE they're eating this up. You know what I mean? They're behind the scenes, they're eating this up. I just hope they don't wait all the way till Mania to bring him out against Seth Rollins. Like, Seth Rollins comes out, he has no opponent, and he's just crying in the ring. Like, I think that's just stupid. You got to have some kind of build-up. If they're really going to have him go against Rollins, they got to have a build-up. I mean, you got 2 Monday Night Raws left. You got tomorrow, and then you got, you know, the next week, and then it's Mania week. Yeah, I mean, that's it. So
Tony,
it's like, what's that?
Unfortunately, that's what WWE is gonna do. They're gonna have Seth Rollins come out. You have 2 nights. Okay, look at the card that they have. I think the card, if you just take all those matches, you could probably just fill up night 1.
Right.
Like, night 2 is not completely full yet with matches. Night 1 is like maybe like halfway done. You know, I see them like just draining this out. Tomorrow, you know, Seth Rollins is gonna come out with the messed up hair. Like when Becky said that she was pregnant and she was leaving, he had that freaking crazy ass look for maybe a week. That's gonna be Seth Rollins again. Seth Rollins is gonna come out on WrestleMania. He's gonna talk this trash. He's gonna be like, I know there's somebody in the back, which God knows everybody's in fucking catering, chilling in the back right now. You know what I mean? And then Cody Rhodes' music is gonna hit. He's gonna come out, and they're gonna have a really quick match, and they're gonna continue this on until on Monday too.
So will he be the American Nightmare, or is he just gonna be Cody Rhodes? Obviously, they would be stupid to make him Stardust. But what do you think he'll be going by in WWE?
I hope just as Cody Rhodes.
I hope so too.
Yeah, just hope Cody Rhodes. No American Nightmare, no nothing. Just Cody Rhodes. I mean, if he, like, going back to what Kenny was saying during that interview where he wanted to just fight till he's 40. I mean, why not just do Cody Rhodes for the last 4 years? Just, you know, just do you, just be you. Just be out there, no other gimmick, no nothing, just whatever you're going to bring to the table, and that's it. I mean, his last name already has, you know, a reputation. So, but hopefully just as Cody Rhodes. Going back to also maybe what's going on, and they're probably giving him a creative type of end with WWE where they haven't allowed that for anyone else. Seeing what he did with AEW when he was running the show, you know, backstage for a couple weeks. You know, doing it, you know, being out there, doing his part, his segments and everything, and then still taking care of the show and stuff. I mean, some things did kind of fail a little bit, but hopefully this guy, I mean, I'm wishing the best for Cody Rhodes, whether he gets booed or cheered. Hopefully I just don't want that Seth Rollins, that whole puppy face type of thing. I don't want that for Rollins, like, at all. Seth Rollins deserves better.
He does.
Like, this guy has done so much for the company. He's a huge name. I mean, for him to 1 year be on top, and then the following year just, am I gonna be in the, you know, at WrestleMania? Am I not? You know, it's kind of like, don't do that to him.
Could WWE be tricking us? Could WWE be pulling the wool over our eyes and it not be Cody Rhodes that faces Seth Rollins? Is there anybody else that could come out and face Seth Rollins?
Fuck, man, there's a ton of people backstage that could face Seth Rollins.
I mean, if that forbidden door is still open, which was open for Mickey James. I hope it's open for the men's division. I'm hoping that, now that Tony Khan has ROH, who knows if they'll link up with ROH or anything. But hopefully another Impact wrestler comes in.
They can get some. Well, I would say MLW, but they're in a lawsuit, so I doubt that's going to ever happen again.
But Kenny, could you see somebody from outside WWE besides Cody Rhodes coming in and surprising and going up against Rollins, or you think this Cody Rhodes thing is set in stone?
I think right now is just the Cody stuff for now, because like WWE, they somewhat play nice with other companies, but I don't think they want to do this for WrestleMania to have somebody from another company come in. Like the Rumble is different because the Rumble you want to grab all these guys and girls from everywhere,
right?
But like Mania is like Vince's baby in a way. Like he's gonna take control of this. As much as we hate this card, he's gonna take control of this card because that's just him. You know what I mean? Like until Triple H decides he's gonna come back and help out, or when they patch whatever feud that they have backstage that they're going through family wise, and they could just bring him back in.
All right, we'll get off this Cody Rhodes topic here in just a moment. Just one last question: is Cody Rhodes gonna be a top guy in WWE? Do we see Cody Rhodes being the champ?
Oof.
Yes, I see him being a champ. Like I said,
not the Intercontinental champ. I'm talking about the WWE champ or the Universal champ, whatever the hell they decide to rename this belt after Lesnar and Reigns. Could Cody Rhodes be the top guy in WWE?
No,
definitely not. I don't see that.
They're gonna give that to Roman
right now.
I don't know. So you were saying that you think it was more than just about money. I think if Cody Rhodes is coming back to the WWE, I think they shoot him right up to the top. In my opinion, my prediction, Cody Rhodes will be the champ somewhere down the line here this year.
No. They're going to leave it on Roman. They've invested way too much money on Roman Reigns to just throw him to the wayside and say, well, we have this new toy that we're going to play with, and we're gonna have you to the side, because like you only have so much time with Roman before he leaves you and he goes with his cousin and he starts making movies, because Hollywood is waiting for Roman Reigns. Mm-hmm. Like he's already getting himself prepared for Hollywood. So like once he decides like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore.
Maybe this is it, man. I mean, shit, he's been the champ for almost 2 years. I don't know what else they're gonna do. I mean, you can't keep the Brock Lesnar thing going. And I already kind of made the prediction. I think Brock Lesnar is gonna win against Roman at Mania.
No, and I'll be waiting for my money too.
No, you got it.
I didn't forget that. I
didn't forget either. I didn't forget. We got a little bet going, Liz. We got what was it? $50?
$50.
$50. But then he said he wanted me to get a Roman Reigns shirt or something. I don't even have a Roman Reigns shirt.
Oh, you better go out and buy one.
Well, I guess I better go to Walmart, go to like Goodwill and get me some old beat up Roman Reigns shirt.
That's all right. As long as it's a Roman Reigns shirt and you're wearing it when we do that review.
Well, you heard it, Liz. We got a little bet going. All right, so we're off the Cody Rhodes thing. We're talking about Roman and Brock. Liz, what do you think about WrestleMania? You think Roman? Yeah, I can see it in your face. You look like you're a big Roman Reigns fan.
I'm leaning towards that Roman may be winning because, like how you said, they've invested so much in him. But I'm a huge.
The heel in her is going Brock.
Sorry. I'm Brock all the way.
All right.
I'm Brock all the way. I'm from the Ruthless Aggression era, so.
Sorry, Kenny. I know you got your Roman Reigns chonies on over there, but
listen, her name is Heel Liz. I already expected her to pick Brock Lesnar already. Roman Reigns is not a heel. He's just the cool bad guy that people like.
But he's not cool though. They're not cool about him.
What? Did you not see?
Cool.
Did you not see SmackDown this past Friday? Did you not? When was the last time you seen a whole section spell out Tribal Chief in big letters?
I think the WWE's paying people to do that.
Bullshit. No, they're not.
Just like they're piping in crowd noise.
If that was the case, they would have brought those people up a whole lot closer, so you could have them on TV the whole entire time. When he came out and I saw all those, those letters of the tribe, which I was like, yo, he's so fucking over. Like, come on, no way. Like he's the cool bad guy that everybody likes. You know, and like Brock Lesnar is the heel that everybody like kind of likes, but they really hate him at the same time.
I mean, but come on, he's ripping doors off cars. I mean, he's gonna win.
WWE spends more money on destroying. Oh my god!
Right?
I would love to see their budget when they be like, "Hey, we're gonna take this and we're just gonna fuck the shit out of this car, these two cars." All right, you know, the cars only cost about $30,000. All right, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's a tax write-off.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well,
but
I don't know. I think you're going to be real sad.
Nope.
I think, okay, so WrestleMania Day 2 is on Sunday.
Yes.
So we should do we should do a WrestleMania preview show that morning or afternoon for you. And then we got to just lay it all out there. We give all our predictions. Liz, you want to come back on for that in 2 weeks?
Sunday morning?
Yeah.
April 3rd?
April 3rd.
April 3rd. I'm down. I'm gonna actually be watching WrestleMania late because I actually have an event that day, so I'm not gonna be watching it live, unfortunately. But I'm gonna try to catch it right before. Maybe you guys can fill me in, but I could definitely throw in my predictions for that Sunday. So
yeah, Kenny, we should do like a whole show with like Toe and the Pro from the Pro Wrestling.
I'm with it.
And then maybe get Gigi on. We get a bunch of people on, and we're just all talk shit and hear all you Roman Reigns marks loving on Roman.
I'm telling you, and then when WrestleMania is over on Sunday,
right?
You know, you can pour yourself a glass, you know, and then you could jump on the recap show with me if you need to, you know, and then while we're there live, you can Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, whatever it is that you're gonna do to give me my money. Right, you could just, and then once I hear a little ding, we're good to go. And I just be like, all right, you know, I got my money. He has his drink. He's gonna cry a little bit because Roman is still champion, you know, and that's it. You know, you're gonna change the background. You're gonna have, you know, the tribal chief in the background instead of, you know, ATW. You know.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I'll give Roman his props. Put him up in the background. We
won't even have to get you a T-shirt. We just change your background to Roman Reigns.
Oh no, I'll go to like Goodwill or something. I'll buy me a shitty Roman Reigns T-shirt. That's all right. I'm gonna send you some Brock Lesnar 20s.
Oh my god! I you know the crazy thing is I do not own a Brock Lesnar shirt, but if he wins, I will go live that same day and I will order 2 Brock Lesnar shirts on top of giving you the $50.
Right. But realistically, what's next? I mean, after Mania, what do you guys kind of see for WWE? Where are they going?
Ron Breaker?
Yeah, I was about to say NXT is coming out. A lot of NXT superstars are getting pushed up. So definitely Ciampa. Where's Ciampa at?
Yep. Ciampa, I mean, did he make that speech this past Tuesday? Thanking the NXT crowd for like all their support and stuff like that. So he's like already bound for like Raw. I don't think he's going to SmackDown. I think they're going to keep him on Raw. Breaker has been going crazy in WWE with like the hype that he's been getting. He's doing a lot of house shows for the main roster. I could end up seeing him getting called up sometime soon.
What do you guys think about this? What kind of new belt are we going to see?
I don't think we're going to see a new belt.
No, not a unified belt.
No.
They should bring the old WCW belt back and make that the belt.
Ooh, for real.
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad with that. You bring the big gold.
Right.
Shit, the Win Eagle. I would love to see back again.
Yeah, no, that's probably maybe one of my favorite WWF belts from back in the day. So. But hey, I know we got a late start. I want to thank you guys both for jumping on today. Kenny, Papa Bear out of the Call Up Podcast.
You know me. I got you anytime.
We got Hell Liz out of L.A. Thank you for joining us today. Kenny, tell everybody where to find you at, man.
So you can catch me every single Monday, 7:30. The Call Up Podcast, we do the live stream of Monday Night Raw. We stayed there for 3.5 hours talking shit about Monday Night Raw and a whole bunch of news. Wednesdays, I do Dynamite that starts at 8. Thursdays, I drop Conversations with Kenny, which I have different people come on each week, and I have conversations with them. I have a couple of interviews that should be dropping in the next couple of weeks with some former NXT stars and a WCW legend.
Nice.
Let's see, and I think that's it. And then anytime that you catch me here on Sundays.
You got any shows coming up that you're gonna go check out?
What am I seeing? So next week, because we're already starting a week already. Next week I'm flying out to Dallas, but I'm only going there for like one day.
That's right. When are you gonna be there? Because I got to go there for work. But I'm getting there Tuesday, but I'm leaving Friday.
So I'm going to be there the 31st because I'm going to this Stone Cold event that's happening at some bar. They're doing like this big like concert thing, but you get to meet Austin at the same time. So I'm going to fly out for that. And then
so you get there Thursday. You get there Thursday then.
Yeah, I get there Thursday morning.
All right, let's try to meet up on Thursday.
Okay. Definitely, let me know.
And then if you want to let everybody know
the next day,
you want to let everybody know your Venmo or Cash App, because when you lose in 2 weeks, they can help you out and send you some money.
But besides that, that's the only thing. And I'm going to a GCW show that same night. Like as soon as the Austin thing is over, probably just get in a cab, go to the GCW event, and then check that out because I think that started like at midnight.
Oh, okay.
Damn. Yeah, because I'm only there one day, so I might as well just take advantage of it. And then the next day I fly right back home to New York, and then start the rest of the week here.
WrestleMania weekend.
Pretty much.
All right. Well, Liz, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Hell Liz out of Los Angeles, LA. Where can we tell my audience where we can find you out on Instagram, Facebook? You got a YouTube channel. What do you got going on?
Right now, I'm actually only on Instagram and TikTok, so you guys can find me at Hell Liz. I just recently added my Snap. I started going to wrestling events, so maybe upcoming vlog soon. So keep in tune for that. But as of right now, just Instagram, Hell Liz. I'm always posting. I'm a huge fan of the women's division, so you guys love the women's division. I'm your go-to girl.
Awesome. Nice. Well, thank you so much, guys. I am your host, Tony Twist. I forgot my name for a second. Hey, this is ATW All Things Wrestling Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're all over the place. Hey, we're only 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, so I hope everybody's excited. Kenny's excited for Cody. He can't wait to see Cody Rhodes in the ring. But hey, Liz, if you wouldn't mind hanging tight for a moment after this. Just wanted to chat with you for a minute. Kenny, I know you got to run. You got to go get your kids.
Yeah, I do, because they're going to call me any minute now asking me where am I to pick them up.
Where you at? All right. Hey, this is ATW. All Things Wrestling. We're out.